I think since we're on the topic of kind of like bad words and stuff like that, and vices in general, we touched on this a little bit with just how you had your struggles. And I think a lot of people sharing those types of similar struggles, you're not the same person now.
Oh, no.
How would you say that you kind of came back and got rid of a lot of those problems that you had in your life?
Yeah, so I earlier I mentioned accountability. So accountability is a massive, massive part of this. You have to, a lot of people, are willing to confront the people around them. Everyone is willing to tell their friend that their fly's down, or tell their friend that he needs to wash his dishes better, or like, dude, your shirt's stupid. Everyone is willing to confront the people around them, right? But no one wants to take a step back and look at the man in the mirror. So the very first thing that you want to do if you want to overcome your personal battles is to take a step back and look at yourself from behind. Just look at yourself from who you've been and who you want to be, and say, okay, well, I can recognize this is problematic. I can recognize this is problematic. And when you start noticing all of the little things, you start realizing that like your entire life operates on like a systematic level, right? So you can start breaking down like, oh, I follow this person on social media and it leads me to this vice. Oh, I hang out with this person and it leads me to this vice. I spend a lot of time in a group setting and maybe that leads to me drinking and partying. So you start noticing all the little things, and that's when you're like, okay, now, day by day, I'm going to correct little actions. So doing minor things like making your bed, rinsing out your coffee mug when you're done using it, cleaning your silverware, cleaning your dishes and putting them away. When you start doing little things right, that is kind of like how you can break yourself out of a system of bad habits. Because bad habits, again, it's systematic. So if the minor things that I do, I can't do those right, then how am I going to overcome something big? So a massive part of it is self-accountability. Don't confront anyone until you've confronted yourself. You've basically come face to face with your demons and you've told them, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I am my own person created in the image and likeness of God, and I'm going to move forward in that direction. So that's like a major part of it, For me, the kind of like the turning point was like a year ago, right around Thanksgiving. Like everyone thinks like, what are we thankful for at Thanksgiving? And so like a huge thing for me was like, okay, I'm thankful for my car, I'm thankful for my job, and I'm thankful for my family. And then I kind of thought about that, and I was like, wow, I grew up in a very, like, Christian household, very Catholic household, and I'm not thankful for my faith. I'm not thankful for my God. I'm not thankful for any of that stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, that's a problem. So then I took a step back, and I was like, okay, where are all of these little things going wrong, and how can I confront the little things so that I can start doing big things correct?
Takes a lot of accountability, like you said, to realize that you're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And the person you lie to most is yourself.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in the character podcast. It's really easy to go, no, I'll be fine. I can do this one time. I'm strong enough. You're not strong enough. You need help from your brothers. You need help from your faith, God, your guardian angels, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
All your patron saints. We're in a world where we're constantly under attack. Our faith, our values, our morals are being attacked every single day, and it's so easy to fall victim to it. And it's so easy to, when you're trying to get better and you fall down, to not get up, to just go, oh, this world's too hard. I'm just not meant to do this. I'm always going to be addicted to a certain kind of website and doing a certain kind of act. I'm always going to be someone who drinks until they blacks out. I'm always going to be doing illicit whatever things. I don't want to get demonetized. It's really easy to fall into that.
It's legal in our state now.
That's just because it's
terrible.
legal doesn't mean it's right.
Again, it's part like being as I mentioned, like even with the sports, like being a part of the machine, and the only way that you can be a part of the machine is by being your best possible version of yourself.
Exactly.
100%.
Competition, there's two sides, and who are you really competing against? Competing against things that are bad. You don't compete against your fellow human beings because they're not bad, right? There is an enemy underneath all of it, And so when you're competing against that worst side, that worst aspect of every human being in order to get rid of it, right? Trying to show people through competition, through just friendship, through camaraderie, that we can all be better people. And that's what we're always trying to do. We just always want to become better.
A massive, I would say that like a really big thing that I had to overcome to get through my vices was anger, right? Being like an angry person, right? So I've always been passionate, but I've also always been angry. And one of the things that I realized that comes with anger is that when you are an angry person, when you lash out at other people, it typically has nothing to do with the people that you lash out at. It always is almost something personal. So like someone says something and you don't like it, it's not because you don't like the fact that they said it, it's because you hate the fact that they're right. So I think that when you take that anger and you realize that it's anger at the injustice you're doing to yourself, you can use that as a weapon in your process of self-improvement. And I think that that is a massive, massive, massive part of the accountability, is knowing how to channel the anger that you feel at the things that people say.